Hello, welcome back. We have two more original DS games lined up for you today. Both of them are on my top 10 list, so we can fill that out a little bit more. And we switch over to the vertical view. Oh, hang on. Webcam's a little framey. Let me just quickly adjust the properties on that. It never sticks to the settings I leave it on. It always reverts back to a default state whenever I close and reopen OBS. So yeah, I'm less framey, but also my image is a bit darker. So if I can go back over to here and increase the gain just a little bit, there we go. Much better, much smoother. Okay. So, this first game is a game in a long-running series that I personally think was already past its prime, but some people genuinely think the DS games are the best ones. But we'll get more into that when we play the game. Oops, wrong one. There we go. This is Advance Wars DS. Found it. Still got my physical copy. Cool. So yeah, Advance Wars Dual Strike, or, DS Dual Strike. A lot of DS games had, especially if they were part of long-running franchises, had subtitles that usually with two words that began with D and S. So in Advance Wars' case, Dual Strike, and there's a lot of other games that did similar things where they had a subtitle with words that began with D and S, and it's like it got weird. Skip that. I like Advance Wars Dual Strike a lot. It is not my favourite in the series. I personally believe the high watermark for the Advance Wars series was Advance Wars 2 Black Hole Rising for the Game Boy Advance. That game is phenomenal. It took an already fantastic game and just perfected it. Dual Strike feels like an attempt to try and mix up the formula. Like, they didn't want to just do another game that was exactly like that one. They wanted to try and do something that, was a bit different. And honestly, while this game is still really good, it is not as good as 2. I would put this game in second place, below Advance Wars 2. But, different people have different orders. Some people think this game is perfect and the best in the franchise. I cannot agree with them, but I do like it a lot. So let's go to campaign. Yeah, so this is a direct follow-up to Advance Wars 2, but we're dealing with an all-new cast. Okay, so all of the non-alien forces from the first two games have now formed their own fake UN. So the countries from the Game Boy Advance games were basically analogues for like real-world countries. So Orange Star was basically an analogue for America. Blue Moon was an analogue for Russia. Green Earth was an analogue for Europe, primarily Germany and the UK. And Yellow Comet is an analogue for China and Japan. So yeah, we are dealing with an entirely new cast. Well, not entirely new. There are some returning faces, but yeah. So I'm assuming this is Nell. Nell is a main character in the Game Boy Advance games. Okay, Nell's sister? Brother? I can't tell. These games have got fantastic soundtracks. They all have. It's a very upbeat soundtrack for a game. Well, these games have very upbeat soundtracks when you consider that the games are about massive global conflicts. The good thing about the Advance Wars series is that, well, the good games, at least, don't take themselves super seriously. They're still moderately light-hearted. The sole exception of one that we don't talk about. They're all extremely bright colours, very light-hearted, very, very upbeat soundtracks. But yeah, there is one game that is not like that. The black sheep of the franchise, which is the second DS game and the last one ever made. The last new one made. There was that recent remaster of the first two games for Switch. Okay. Rachel, okay. That's Rachel and this must be Jake. Rachel is Hat Girl, Jake is Headphones Boy. Okay, yeah, enough dialogue. Let's get to the mission. So let's bring up the zoom in view. There we go. So this game has a the same art style as the Game Boy Advance games, which is a little bit more detail and flair, really. Okay, yep, that's the cursor, all right. Okay, movement range. Direct combat unit. Yep, Okay, so this game can be controlled entirely with the touchscreen. You can use the D-pad and buttons if you want to, but this game is 100% playable with just the touchscreen. So this is your movement range. So you want to move him into cover. So if we move him into the trees here, he will gain a defensive bonus. So then when the tanks I'm about to fire on counterattack, they will do less damage than they normally would because I'm in the trees. Yep. 55%. We will take them down to just over half health. Tank unit, direct combat. Move this guy to the other trees. Standard infantry. One of the weakest units, but also one of the most important, as they are one of the only units in the game that can capture cities and factories. Oh my god, yeah. So, you want to capture cities because you will gain, you gain money every turn based on how many cities you have under your control. Also, cities are good defensive points as they add a good amount of defense to any unit that is stationed on one. Also, they are points where you can refuel your units. Some units require fuel to continue moving, so... Terrain bonus. Higher the number, the better the defense it gives. Okay. End turn. Okay. Yep, thank you very much. Let me just... Oh my god. Okay, let's have you finish that city off. Let's move you here and attack these guys capturing the city. Move you to the scene. Okay. End turn. There's 5 points left, so let's move these guys over here. Let's attack them so they can't capture it next turn. End turn. Yep. Finish you guys off. S rank. It's the best rank you can get. I mean, that was literally the first mission. It was a pretty basic tutorial, so... I will say, as much as I like the Game Boy Advance Wars games, they have unbelievably slow, drawn-out tutorials. Like, oh my god. Everything they just teach you in that one mission in this game takes 5 missions in the Game Boy Advance games. It's fucking crazy. Mission complete.
Move out.
I will say that the while the in-mission graphics are the exact same art style as the Game Boy Advance games, the character art is not. The character art is a slightly less stylized than it was in the previous 2 games. The character art in this game is slightly more like realistic proportions than they were in the Game Boy Advance titles. Which, you know, I kind of prefer the complete, like, over-the-top character designs from the GBA games, but these character designs are fine. They're a little bit bland. And uninteresting. Because they're, you know, a little bit more realistically proportioned, but they're okay. Got nothing bad to say about the soundtrack, though. The soundtrack is good. Mission 2, The New Black. Alright, we're dealing with ranged units now. Artillery. Indirect combat. So in this one they're teaching you about artillery, moving troops with an APC by the looks of it, and repairing units. Something that would have taken 3 levels in the GBA games. Oh shit, hang on. Damn it. Hang on. Let's restart this one. I just fucked up. Skip through this. That is one thing I will mention. It can sometimes get a little bit... You can accidentally end a unit's turn without meaning to. This button through. Okay. Yep, indirect combat. Yep, gotcha. Cancel. So, oh, okay, they can't move and fire. If you want to shoot an artillery piece, you have to not move them. Okay, that makes sense, that's fine. Leave that guy there. Let's move this guy into the APC. Can load APCs up with infantry to get them across the map faster. Non-combat, transport infantry, deliver supplies. APCs can replenish unit fuel and ammo reserves. They can supply up to 4 units at once as long as the units are in adjacent spaces. Yep. Okay, so let's... Okay. Standard tank. Let's start moving this guy up. I think the artillery has a range of 3, so... So the thing with ranged units, they can attack, I think, so the artillery I think has a range of up to 3, but it can only attack 2 or 3 spaces away. It can't attack anything right next to it. So... move this guy here. Wait. Let's move the tank up. And end. So I can attack either one. Let's attack this guy. Yeah, if you've got 2 damaged units, you can merge them to bring them back up to a higher health. But of course you do lose one of the units if you do that. Drop this guy onto HQ so he heals. You don't have to... you can heal units on other captured buildings, not just the HQ, but this whole mission, they make a point of you getting the infantryman out of the way, so... Let's park this guy here. Wait. Yep. I'm not going to move this guy. I'm going to wait for one or two of these tanks to enter these trees before I use that one, so... Oh, fuck. Okay. Can we reach him from here? No, we can't. Oh well. Hopefully he brings this tank back and merges it. Yeah, good. Then we can hit him again. See, he's slowly getting healed. He gets healed 2 points a turn. That's the same regardless of what kind of captured square you put him on. This will be the last day. Okay. Another easy one. Another S. There should be really no reason why you don't get an S rank in all of these tutorial missions. You got dropped like a fat beet, he says. Thank you for that, Jake.
Mission complete.
Alright. Let's go to the third mission. I think we've got a return... Oh, no, here we go, yeah. Returning character, Max, from the Advance games. All of the characters in the these games have like certain specialties. So some characters will have a slight attack bonus for infantry, but there's pluses and minuses. So a commander might have a slight attack bonus for their infantry, but in return their tanks are slightly less strong. Or some characters have an attack bonus to their artillery. Things like that. Some characters specialise in air units. Some characters specialise in water units. Max here specialises in just tanks, but his ranged units are weaker than average. So his artillery and rockets don't do as much damage as most of the other commanders, but his tanks do a little bit more than most of the others. Also, it's really weird that almost all of the army commanders in these games are somewhere between the ages of like 16 and 25, and it's fucking weird. Like, this kid is not a day over 18. Like, that's his maximum age. There's no way he's any older than 18, and he's like commanding troops on the front line. That's fucking weird. But hey, that's Advance Wars. That's just what this series is. The series has actually been going for decades. As far as I know, this has been going since like the 8-bit days. So there was a Wars game for the Famicom, which is what the NES was called in Japan. It was just called Famicom Wars. And that was a lot more simpler than what this is. You know, it's a lot more simplified, but same basic stuff. I think we only got our first one in the West on the Game Boy Advance. The story goes, apparently some North American like Nintendo executive went to visit Japanese Nintendo headquarters, and there he saw one of the upcoming Game Boy Advance games that was apparently slated for a Japan-only release. He looked at that and was like, "This is great. Why can't we have this?" At least that's the story. That is what how accurate that is, or how much more detail to that story there is, I don't know, but that is what I've always been told. Some Western bigwig found it and was like, "You should bring this to Europe and America. This is great." And sure enough, they did, and he was right. These games are great. Okay, this is also another returning character from the Game Boy Advance games. Medium tanks. So we're going to learn about helicopters, medium tanks, and guided missiles. Okay. Okay. God, that was great. Just a great soundtrack. Okay, transport copter or T-copter. Not built for combat, it's basically an aerial APC. scam their HQ. Let's move this guy here. Can't attack the missile, it's flying too high. Ground units with anti-air. Okay. Can't do much harm. We'll see about that. So, helicopters, I think, have roughly the same attack strength as a normal tank. But obviously they can fly. But they cannot be effectively attacked by most ground units. They can only be attacked by other air units and anti-air ground units. Okay. Oh, wait, no. This guy over here. Wait. Wait, yes, please. No. Wait. Okay. Let's move this guy here. Yeah. So his indirect combat units will do less damage than most of the other commanders. Open the map window and select CO. Move this guy up here so he can cover both of these bridges. Bridges have 0 cover, so their cover rating of 0. Same as a road, so these guys will take full damage if we attack them on these squares. So, Intel status back terms units. It's just a list of all the units on the field. He said I can access the maps. Ooh, different screen. CO, here we go. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, here we go. Non-infantry direct combat units are tops. Indirect combat troops are reduced in range and firepower. Wow. Okay, yeah, they do suck. Oh yeah, look. -1 damage for all of his ranged stuff, including battleships. If you look at all his direct combat stuff, so like anti-air, light tanks, medium tanks, armoured vehicles, submarines, they gain a very slight attack bonus, so yeah, increase firepower, decrease firepower, yeah. Okay. Let's end. Let's see what this person does. This music's just good. Oh, shit. Well, now we know what that does. Should have kept my, Yeah, you can only repair air units at airports. Yeah, we're gonna have to merge them. Yeah. The way this game works, most of the time you are better off with fewer, stronger units than you are with more, like, weaker units. So, most of the time, that's the better option. Okay. Let's get this helicopter going. Whoops. There. Okay. We'll leave that there. And yeah, these guys won't do much damage. Yeah, because even though they're attacking... Ooh, fuck. Okay. More characterizing. Okay. Story stuff. If you weren't 100% certain, Black Hole is a alien invasion. They do not represent a specific country. They are straight up aliens who are trying to invade the planet. Hence the name Black Hole. Okay. Oh my god, too much talking. Right. Let's fire. Okay. Let's use these guys. Good thing about helicopters is tanks cannot shoot back at them effectively. They can only use their machine guns, which don't do a lot of damage. Infantry are basically helpless. Let's move the helicopter. It's gonna fuck up this APC. Yep, woof. It's gonna fuck up this infantry. Woof. How much damage can we do to these medium tanks? Very almost took them out. Let's get the weak helicopter over here. Have him finish off this tank. Can you finish it off? Probably not. No, very close though. If we're lucky, this APC might just survive. Just. Drop this guy off here. He'll start capturing next turn. We're probably going to lose the APC and the infantry this turn. Maybe one of the helicopters. But that's unavoidable losses. Yeah, we're going to lose the APC. That's fine. We can deal with that. Okay. Medium tank dealt with. You start capturing. And then we'll capture that next turn and we'll be absolutely fine. Okay. We might lose either the helicopter or the mechanical infantry. My helicopters are low on ammo. So once helicopters run out of missiles, they will resort to just using their machine guns, which are not very effective at most things, but they have at least some form of attack. That's why they've got that little flashing symbol on. Okay. $100 points. S rank. Thanks, Max. Thanks for that. I'm sure you will. So these points that we're earning here, these total points, this is currency. We can spend these in a in-game shop to unlock more characters, maps. I think they unlock like soundtrack options. There's like an in-game shop that we can spend all those in. We'll do 1 or 2 more missions and then we'll bounce on to the next game. This might be C units. Okay, Green Earth. It's a little weird how for the Green Earth soldiers they've given them the traditional German Stahlhelm. Now, the Stahlhelm, which is what he's wearing, is itself not a... There's nothing wrong with the helmet itself. However, it has become something of a symbol of fascism since the Second World War. And so their choice to equip allied units in this game with the Stahlhelm is a little bit strange, but alright. So yeah, as you can see, Orange Star Infantry are modelled after American World War II style era infantry, and Green Earth Infantry are modelled after German World War II infantry, which, you know, to the Japanese developers making this game, not a big deal. To Europeans and Americans, a bit weird. It was the same in the GBA games as well. Okay, this is air units. Okay, anti-air. We're dealing with anti-air now. And, okay. So we've got anti-air guns, missile launchers, and rocket launchers. Okay, looks like we've got a limit. The countdown will start, so we've got to finish this mission within a certain number of days before the battlefield gets wiped out by an incoming missile attack. Okay. Plenty of anti-air. We do! Can't attack ground units. Can't attack other air units. Okay. Anti-air guns. These things are extremely effective against both air units and infantry. These things will rip apart any infantry. It's horrifying. Yeah. Doesn't do much against tanks, but normal people? Woof. Absolutely rip them to shreds. Oh my god. There we go. So this is the same as the artillery, it's just got a bigger range and it does more damage. Finish off those tanks. Good stuff. Yeah, much better off attacking the helicopter, because the helicopter can actually attack ground units. That'll do for... These guys here, so they've got more cover. Okay. We'll swap. Oh, it just swaps the top screen. So yeah. Got a 30-minute time limit. It's not just a turn limit, it's also a hard time limit as well. Victory improbable. God, this soundtrack is fantastic. Oh shit. Rude. We're fine. We are on the verge of winning. More detailed information on deployed units. So yeah, I did say you can 100% control this game with just the touchscreen, so even though it says X to swap the view and A to open the menu, you can just tap those where it says that on the bottom screen with the stylus and it'll still do that same action. So yes, 100% compatible with just the touchscreen if you don't want to use the buttons. Let's finish off this bomber. Nice. Cool. I don't know. Do we have access to the shop yet? I don't know. Okay, we're going to back out for a sec. The war room? No. Is that standard? If you just want to do like a standalone single map battle against AI, that's the war room, I believe. Versus is multiplayer survival. What is survival? There's a lot of new modes in this game that I never really paid much attention to. All I was interested in was campaign, war room, versus, and creating custom maps. Sound room and gallery are not unlocked yet, so... Combat. Okay, so you're given a budget and you have to spend that budget on units, and they're the only units you can purchase. Okay. That's interesting. Like, you have a fixed amount of money and you have to win the game on just that one amount of money. Okay, that's an interesting. Yeah, we have not unlocked the shop yet, which is a shame. But anyway, this is a cool game. So you can actually make your own maps as well. You can also design your own commanders, I think. But you can only use existing commanders as a base. So So you can change like their color scheme, change out what their special moves are, change what their stats are, like what units they are good at, what units they're not good at, that sort of thing. So you could make custom maps in the Game Boy Advance games, but they were a little bit awkward because you're just using D-pad and buttons. The D-pad, the DS makes customizing maps a lot easier. So we can place some shit. Delete some stuff if you want to. Let's see, we want to add some mountains. Let's add some... Copy, array. So let's add a different... Add some stuff, a carrier, helicopter. You can save that. And you can, what does display do? Okay, so you unlock a bunch of stuff. Yeah, choose a wallpaper, just a background wallpaper, that's all. Okay. How do you play these? You might have to go to... It's been a while. War Room, new game. 3 CEOs, 4 CEOs, 5 CEOs, 2 CEOs. No skills. So yeah. You can purchase more maps to play on if you need to. I forget how you access your custom maps. It's been a while. But anyway, that is something you can do. This game's cool. It's got a lot of content. You can spend hours and hours and hours and hours just finishing the main campaign, and then you've got all this extra bonus shit you can do. It's just so much in this. What a fantastic game. Anyway, I think that will be enough. It's a shame I can't really show you more of it because I'm trying to keep footage of each game down to roughly an hour so these videos don't end up going crazy and becoming 3-4 hour videos, because we've barely scratched the surface of these games. There's just so much to it. What you've seen so far is just a small amount of the sort of shit that you can do in these games. They're so good. If you haven't played an Advance Wars game, play an Advance Wars game. I don't care how you do it, wink wink, but you need to play one. They are just so good. Anyway. Not my favourite Advance Wars game, but it is my favourite DS Advance Wars game. So let's close that game. And let's head to our top 10 list. Where Advance Wars occupies spot number 9. I guess I can call. I guess I can give it its full title. It deserves its full title. Dual Strike. There we go. I don't remember what the name of the fourth and last game was. Is it Dark Tomorrow? I don't remember. Dark Tomorrow. Advance Wars Dark Tomorrow. I'm just going to assume it's called Dark Tomorrow. It's such a bummer of a game. I bought it because of course I did, because I like Advance Wars, but boy, I might show you that game one day. That game, I get Nintendo probably wanted to move the series in a different direction, but boy, they chose a bad direction. Anyway. That was Advance Wars Dual Strike. It's good. And let's load up the next game. Oh my god. Do I? Hang on. Where the hell has it gone? I had this. Where the hell did it go? Uh-oh. Hang on. Where did I put the file? Where did I put it? Give me just a moment. Did I put it in this folder? Where the hell did I put it? What a weird... I've got a special folder for it and everything, and it's just not... What? That's so strange. Okay, right. It is here. Got it. Found it. This is Castlevania Dawn of Sorrow. The DS was host to a trilogy of fantastic Castlevania games. And this one is my personal favourite. That's right, there's FMV. This game is fantastic. Where's my control? Oh, there we go. Right. So this game is a direct sequel to one of the Game Boy Advance Castlevania games. I don't remember which one. Don't remember what that game was called, but yeah, you play as the same, your main character is the same guy from that game. So long story short, you know how traditionally in Castlevania games, the final boss is Dracula? So the character we are playing as, Soma, his name is Soma, is Dracula. He is a reincarnation of Dracula that went wrong. And so, for some reason, he has Dracula's soul, but he's not Dracula. And so the cult that worships Dracula is kind of pissed off that you're not who you're meant to be, and now basically they've decided, well, we'll just kill him to release Dracula's soul, and hopefully the next time he reincarnates, he'll be correct. So yeah, you're basically doing battle against Dracula's cult. So let's just, we've got to sign your name, eh? I've got to try and do this with a mouse. There we go. Ever since the solar eclipse, oh that's right, this game takes place in the future. This is a future game. In the eclipse of 2035, my life has never been the same. I am the rebirth of Dracula. Yeah, I possess the power to see souls. That's right, Soma Cruz. So yeah, you can, whenever you kill an enemy in this game, there's a small chance that you can acquire its soul, and by equipping their soul, you can use like different like spells or attacks or sub-weapons. It's kind of great. And every enemy in the game has a soul that you can capture, and the rarity of a soul changes from enemy to enemy. There are some enemies which have like a ridiculously low soul capture rate. Like it's like a 0.1% chance of capturing their soul every time you kill one. So you end up having to kill possibly hundreds of them, you know, to get even a moderate chance of getting it. And so it is a little bit grindy, but usually the rarer souls are like the more powerful ones. And so, okay, so for people wondering, the DS games are very similar to Symphony of the Night. They got the same style of progression, same style of world map, basically that style of Castlevania game. And so as a result, they're kind of awesome. I want to say one of the Game Boy Advance games was a more traditional linear Castlevania game, like Castlevania 1 and 3, and Bloodlines, or New Generation as it was called in Europe. Whereas the other two GBA games were, again, like similar, like Metroidvania style. Ugh, I hate that phrase. Metroidvania style games. Funnily enough, one of the other DS Castlevania games, while not a direct sequel, does in fact directly reference Bloodlines / New Generation, which is crazy because typically Bloodlines / New Generation is considered a non-canon Castlevania, but they straight up made a new one that referenced that game. So, you know, just to make the overall timeline and lore of the Castlevania franchise just that little bit more complicated. I'm just going to zoom in. Here we go. The top screen will do more later on, but at the moment it does nothing. Whoops. Refocus. Fuck you, skeleton. Alright, I have absorbed the skeleton's soul, and the skeleton's soul allows me to throw bones. Bullet type attack, tactical soul. Up and Y to use, consumes MP on use. There we go. Attack with a spinning spear. Guardian type, tactical soul. Press R to use, consumes MP. Whoops. Shit. Whoop. Got him. Raise strength. Enchantment. Enchant type. Tactical soul. Takes effect when equipped. Does not consume MPs. We've got a passive skill there. So that's the leader of the cult. She's determined to kill me to release Dracula's soul. Okay, it's a nice convenient way to explain why you're weak again, even though you've already played through an entire Castlevania game as this guy. The fact that he hasn't been using his skills since he escaped the castle means that he's just doesn't have access to them anymore. Yep, that's true. Yep, I know this we know. Alright, here we go. So yeah, your top screen is primarily your map screen. There's some weird flickering going on in the background, and I don't know if that's meant to be like that. I don't know if you can see that. That's, it's a little strange. That seems almost like a glitch. An emulation bug. That sucks. Again, you'd hope that DS emulation would be better than this by now, but apparently not. Hey Hammer, maybe it's not a good idea to openly talk about how attractive you find the dude's girlfriend. Maybe that's not a cool thing to do. So he's a shopkeeper. I think he sells you weapons. Not quite as iconic as an old man sitting on a toilet for the entire game, but you know, he's a pretty good shopkeeper. So, B button to jump. Y button to attack. You do very, very slowly regain MP, which is nice. Okay. Left shoulder button to do the back step. It's a very important move in Symphony of the Night style games. So, if we kill enough of these bats, we should get a bat soul. This game has a fantastic soundtrack. This is probably one of my personal favourite Castlevania soundtracks. Makes fantastic use of the DS sound hardware. No soul. Get some money. Can we jump up? Nope. Equip. So you can only equip 3 souls at a time, but that's okay. So it's up and Y to throw the bone, right shoulder button to spin the spear. It's an AoE attack, and the strength boost is just passive. It's always on. Short sword. So we can equip the short sword. Just straight up attack bonus. Big wolf. In fact, I think that's the same sprite from Symphony of the Night. It looks like it. It might not be. I don't know. I don't have a picture to just compare it to. Free potion. Save room. Not as iconic as a big spinning coffin, like in Symphony of the Night, but you know, it'll do, it's fine. Magically sealed door. We need to go find ourselves a cube of Zoe. Sorry, it's... Been playing some more Symphony of the Night lately, and that game's great. Woo. Ooh, zombie powers. Summon zombie. Whoop. Actually, let's try that out. So it's 8 MP for use, 12 MP per use, which is fine. So now we can summon a zombie and they will walk forward and attack any enemies in front of us. Those two. Yoko Belandez and Julius Belmont. That's right, there is a Belmont in this game. So Julius does not really like you. It's, I guess it's the thing about Belmonts, right? Like the Belmonts are like destined to always kill Dracula, and he does not like the fact that there is a Dracula that he cannot kill. Basically you, because you're not a bad guy, and he's like, but the call of my blood really wants me to kill you because you're technically Dracula, but also you're technically not. I'm so conflicted. Oh my god. God, this game is so good. People tend to, when they talk about the best DS Castlevania games, there's usually two sides. Half the people will usually say, oh, Dawn of Sorrow is the best one. That's the side I'm on. And then there's a group of people who are like, actually, it's Order of Ecclesia. Order of Ecclesia is really good. It's probably my second favourite DS Castlevania game. But I think, I don't know, I think I prefer Dawn of Sorrow just a little bit more. But in fact, all three of the Castlevania games, Dawn of Sorrow, Order of Ecclesia, and Portrait of Ruin, all three are fantastic games. So good. So good. That even the weakest of the three, Portrait of Ruin, is like still a fantastic game. Magic seal. That'll get me past that door we saw. Okay, I think the magic seal requires use of the touchscreen. Yeah, so like a pentagram or some kind of shape will appear on screen and you have to trace it very quickly. So yeah. Okay. So yeah, that's how you finish off most bosses in this game. When you land the final hit on a boss, you have to then draw a specific symbol within a certain amount of time. If you don't, the boss will regain back a portion of its HP and you have to beat it back down again. It can get a little bit annoying, but as long as you're paying attention, it's not a huge issue. Go back and find a different way in. Okay. It's the toughest zombie in the West. Here we go. Yeah, magic seal to finish off the monster in here. Okay. It's our first boss? Might be our first boss. It's our first boss. Awesome. Whoop. Fuck. Whoop, 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 whoop. It's okay. We learned his attack patterns. Whoop, whoop, whoop. That's fucked. Oh my god. Oh, fuck. Stop moving. Oh, shit. Ooh, don't let him touch you. Fuck off, man. Jesus, that's not cool. Got him. Yep, there we go. So if I didn't do that in time, he would have gained back a portion of his health, and you have to keep fighting him. Reduce the speed of falling. Okay. new and more complex seals. So you've got to find the correct seal before you can kill a boss. Cool. So, let's equip that new soul. So, reduce the speed of falling. So this is just straight up lets you... Yeah. Lets you cover greater distances. Okay. Like that. So the claymore is just a straight up attack increase, but I suspect the attack timing is a lot slower, so you can't get the attacks out as quickly. The spear, while not as strong as the claymore, I suspect is a lot faster. Yeah. There we go. I, however, like the claymore quite a bit, because you can also attack upwards with the claymore. So anything above you also gets hit. Can't quite get over that just yet. Let's go to the left first, because there's less to the left than... Oh, shit. I like how in the background all the other buildings are 3D, so you've got some 3D like visuals going on, despite this game being like mostly 2D. Oh no, haunted table. Didn't get its soul. A mace. So it's good how they're like giving you like a selection of different kinds of weapons here. You can get a gun in this game, but the gun is very expensive. So the mace has the same attack animation as the claymore, but it's even slower. That's very slow. God, what a great soundtrack. Oh my god. Cloth tunic, $1,000. So the standard cloth tunic has a slightly higher defense. No accessories yet. Okay. Okay. Let's go down, because there's basically a dead end down there. I like how when you stand on the van, you knock off the snow on its roof. Also, how the van reacts when you stand on it. You see how it leans forward and back, depending on what part of the roof you're standing on. That's like a neat little detail. I like that so much. Oh, here we go. Shop time. Hi, Yoko. Hammer. That rough-looking guy. Oh, please. You're just saying that because he's bald, aren't you? That's fucked up. Just because the guy lost his hair doesn't mean you can't trust him. Jesus Christ. Chill out, Yoko. Fuck. The power of dominance. So you can take the souls that you gather from enemies and fuse them with items to make those items more powerful. But doing that expends the soul, and if you only have one of a soul, you have to go and get it again, so... And the more rare the soul, the more powerful the effect it will have on an item. Weapon synthesis, soul release. Free the soul? Guardian. So I've got 2 Armor Knight souls. Needles, Armor Knight. So we can actually... That spear... We can apply the Armor Knight soul to it to increase its damage. Yep, turns it into a partisan. To upgrade it again, we'll need an axe armor soul. So if you don't just want to buy weapons, that's a slightly cheaper but more time-consuming way of getting gear. So let's equip that partisan. It's the exact same attack rating as the mace, but it's significantly faster attack time. So again, look at the van, look at the snow on the top of the van. It fell off. That's a great little touch. I love that. Let's go visit Hammer. He's selling us armor and items. You haven't figured it out yet. This man likes the ladies. See what he's got. A potion. MP boost. These aren't as useful because your MP will just slowly increase by itself anyway. Castle map. Oh. UMA news, what? Axe. Blunt sword, brass knuckles, boomerang, cloth tunic, gym clothes, leather armor, luck, scarf, lucky charm. So what's the difference between the pendant and the lucky charm? They both have the exact same effect. Let's buy a pendant. And let's buy the gym clothes. So you got some lore here if you want to read the lore. Tells you about different characters, different events in history. The cult, power of dominance, the previous game. I wish I could remember the name of the GBA game. Yeah, the whip that destroys Dracula. Yeah. What is UMA news? Exclusive scoop. Abominable snowman discovered. Huh. Weird. So now we can equip these gym clothes and this pendant to increase our stats. We are good to go. Zombie soul. Okay, wind demon, here we go. Okay. Now let's stay down first because I want this downward path is Ooh, fuck you. That's right. Fall off the edge, you shit. Free potion. Okay, kill both of those guys. Let's see what's in here. Couple more zombie souls. The zombie souls are like incredibly common, so you will get one of those for every like 10 zombies you kill, roughly, which is a very, very high drop rate for an enemy. Like I said, there are some enemies in this game that have like unbelievably like low drop rates. Huh. Interesting. Who wants to bet that this mirror comes into play at some point in the game? So yeah, in order to access the far side of this room, you're going to need to step through the mirror. Another one. Oh my god. Okay. Level up. Kill all 3 of those bats. Still haven't gotten a bat soul yet, which is annoying. Whoop, shit. We woke up the wind demon. Got him. Alright, let's go over to the right-hand side. Oh, hi there. She's got her own advertising firm. I see. That's cool. Witch. Lesser witch. Okay. She hasn't figured out how to fly yet. Tries to hit me with a broom and whiffs. Great. Oh, and she can fly. She's not very good at it, though. That's adorable. What an adorable enemy. Oh my god. Okay, hit that switch to lower the water level, and we're through. Got him. Yeah, that guy can be a little bit hard to hit because you've got to hit him in the head to actually hurt him. Hitting him in the whirlwind, the tornado section doesn't actually hurt him. Okay, we are on the far side. Yeah, we're back where we were. So yeah, we can... Oh, still can't go because the drawbridge is up. No soul? No soul. Right, I wonder if I can... Can I drop down from the other side? Huh, interesting. So, like Symphony of the Night, there are secret rooms, and I suspect that there is a secret room. Even though that map, on the map, it's just an empty space, there's probably a secret room there. Okay. I like how even though, like, you no longer, like, the games no longer have to deal with CD load times, they've still got the CD load time hallways from Symphony of the Night. Like, because that, like, we're just like a single screen hallway where nothing happens and there's no music. The entire purpose of it is just to let the game load the next area, which is not a thing on the DS because it's solid state media. There's no real load times. They had to exist in Symphony of the Night because of the CD based format, but it's weird how they just kind of kept them anyway. Okay, the Wizardry Lab. Oh, what a great song. Listen to this great music. Okay, these ghosts, I think they keep respawning. Okay, okay. No, I don't have the ability to do this yet, so you will gain a soul ability, which will let you get rid of ice blocks, but you get rid of the ice blocks by actually tapping the touchscreen, not by anything that Soma himself does. Okay, these guys will just keep respawning. Got to keep going. Cool. God, what a cool game. What a great game this is. Holy shit. Oh, Bomb Knight. Whoop. Oh, shit. Didn't mean to do that. Slimes. Gross. What's this? A blunt sword. That seems like something that will be prime for crafting. Whoop. Motherfucker. Gonna attack me with your broom again? Great, love it. Just a shitload of money. Good. Good stuff. Needless to say, if you like Symphony of the Night, you'll probably like this game too. Shit. No souls? No souls. Damn. Okay. Carrying on. No souls? Whoops. Oh, yes, axe armor. Throw an axe upwards. Let's check out what that does. Cool. It's the same as the bone, but it does more damage, I imagine. Oh, that's a chimera. Don't fuck with the chimeras. Let's go check out down here. What's this? A scarf. And another newspaper beyond that door. $50 hidden in that light bulb. I don't know why. Fuck. Get off. Piss off. Let's check out the Chimera room. Why not? There's less map up there to explore, so we can fill that. Got him. I bet there's a bunch of them in here. Oh, check out this creepy painting. Look at its fucking eyes. What? So there are a bunch of secrets in this game. And the newspapers you collect, actually, the purpose of the newspapers is to give you hints as to the location of secrets. And I believe certain strange environmental things, like this painting, might be hiding secrets, but we lack the abilities to access them just yet. Need to get specific items or specific soul abilities. So that newspaper we picked up mentioned something about a Yeti. So there's one screen in the game where there is a chance, and I do mean just a chance, you might see a Yeti in the background. And if you see the Yeti and you have equipped a specific item, that Yeti will come onto the foreground and you can fight it. I think you fight it? I don't remember. Okay. Fuck off, guys. Let's go in here first. Warp room. Okay, we've unlocked a warp room. But this is the only one we've unlocked so far, so this is useless. Okay. Oh, Pigman. Okay. 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 What's this? Oh shit. Let's attack these guys. We might get a soul. So yeah, you can avoid getting knocked off the platform if you have the ability that lets you break the ice, but obviously we don't have that yet. Yeah, of course we can't actually get through. Oh well. Now we know. Now we know. Okay. Okay. Pretty sure you can attack. Yeah, you can attack the fireballs to block them. God, this game's so good. Oh, this game's so good. Okay. Let's go right. Okay. Frankenstein man. Oh, shit, he does a lot of damage. Okay. Another one of these doors that require a switch. So we need to get to this from the other side at some point. Oh, we got a drop. We got an item drop. That's cool. Let's check that out. Breastplate. Defense increase, concentration decrease, so we actually lose MP. So I think... Okay, let's go with the increased defense. We don't use our MP a lot anyway. Oh shit. Ooh. Should use the back step more often. Let's go this way. Oh, another one of these guys. It's been a while. Got him. Got him. Fuck that chair, I don't trust it. Okay, this screams fake wall to me, but don't have the ability to open it. Okay. What's up here? Chimera. Oh, oh shit. He fires fireballs out of his mouth. That's rude. Okay. It's just an alternate way to get to that path, is it? Huh. Okay. So, if that's just a one-way direction up there, so what's up here? Why does this exist if this doesn't lead to the door? Is there some additional item hidden? Okay, now it just literally leads back to that hallway. So... Okay. It's just kind of a junction room, really. It's just a room dividing three paths. Ah, sucks to be you. Okay. Sit on the chair. It does nothing. You can just sit on the chair. Uh-oh, is this a boss fight? It's a good way to end this video, actually, if this is going to be a boss fight. This is a bad strategy, guys. You literally, all three of you are right here. You could just jump me. There's no way I could handle all three of you at once. You could literally jump me and end this right here. But okay, you're just gonna walk off and... Alright. Again, this is not a good plan. Oh shit. Hang on. It looks like we've got a boss coming up, so... Save? Let's finish this video with a boss fight. Okay. What are you? Whoop. Jump on his fist. Ow! That's funny. Ow. Fuck. You don't get a lot of time on that one. Oh god. Ooh, duck. Fuck. Oh shit, I'm trying to jump on his hand, but it missed it. Chuck. Oh, come on. I was stuck in an animation. I was stuck in an animation. Let's try again. Let's try again. And in classic Castlevania fashion, if you die, it just dumps you back at the title screen. It doesn't ask you if you just want to reload. Okay. Let's try that again. Now I know his patterns. So this is the guy who's going to teach you how to break the ice. Oh, the axe is perfect for this. Shit. Duck. Oh god. Shit. Hang on. Oh, come on, I was on his hand. Got him. Okay. Draw the seal. Seal the boss. Capture his soul. Touch the touchscreen to shatter certain blocks. So yeah, is there a secret? No. So yeah, now we equip his soul. No. Is it this one? Is it just a passive skill you just have, perhaps? It might just be a passive skill that you just have. Yeah, look. So by drawing on the touchscreen with the stylus, you can break the ice. It's real silly. Yeah. So that previous room that we went in earlier with the platform that travels across, you can now break the ice so it doesn't knock you off, so you can get to the other side of the corridor. What a great game. This game's cool as hell. Oh, what a great game. Jesus Christ. Oh. Anyway, that will be it for this video. Let us quickly... So I'm going to exit the game. What a great game. Holy shit. If you have any affection for Castlevania at all and you haven't played Dawn of Sorrow, do yourself a favour and play Dawn of Sorrow. Like, it's so good. It's so good. Oh, it's such a good game. All of the DS Castlevania games are fantastic, but Dawn of Sorrow is my personal favourite. So anyway, Dawn of Sorrow is on my top 10 list. Hang on. Oh yeah, Dawn of Sorrow is another example of a DS game using a subtitle that begins with D and S. Dawn of Sorrow, DS. It's another example of that. Where is it? Here it is. So Dawn of Sorrow is number 7. So let me just, oops, there's a cable over my keyboard so I can't use it correctly. Castlevania Dawn of Sorrow. So yeah, so we filled out number 10, Sonic Rush, number 9, Advance Wars Dual Strike, number 8, WarioWare Touched, number 7, Castlevania Dawn of Sorrow, number 6 is still to be revealed, number 5, Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney, and numbers 4, 3, 2, and 1 are still to be revealed. So, join me next time. What are we playing next time? Next time, we are playing 2... honestly, very important. Well, one of them's important. One of them is just, I think, a very, very interesting port of a PlayStation 1 game for the DS. Neither of them are on my top 10, but neither of them are, but both of them, rather, are 2 of my favourite DS games. And we shall look at those next time. So, thank you for joining me. My name is the Real Blue Dragon. I shall see you next time. Goodbye.